Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labuschagne, Miguel Antonio Barrick on. First and foremost, go to @FightNet Radio. I cannot stress this. We did a watch along of the Zhang Zhang versus Joyce fight. It's available on Facebook and YouTube. If it's not there, then guess what? No matter what I thought when I clipped that video up, it got taken down. But I'm almost positive, Miguel, I can put it on YouTube as unlisted. So if they click the link, they can go and watch it on an unlisted video. So no matter what, just go to @FightNet Radio on Facebook, Instagram, all our platforms, and enjoy the fight. We actually had a good time. We were joined by Top Rank Bob, who sang a passage to Bangkok, nearly destroying his voice in the process. And apparently, according to Top Rank Bob, the hookers are better in Macau than anywhere else in the world. So that was my takeaway from the fight. And the fact that Joyce, basically blew a multi-million-dollar payday. So go enjoy it. Andrew, I think, had one of the most epic heavyweight rants of all time, as always. We're still waiting for Miguel. He hasn't had a good rant in at least a couple of months. We're holding out. So as always, thank you for listening, audio people. Thank you, video people on YouTube and Facebook, because that's the future of all. I got to get us an app next. So we're streaming on everybody's TV next so we can put our video content up. But click, like, subscribe. I'll say it, Miguel. Even though, based on my age, I'm not allowed to say it. There's a law. You get a letter. Smash those buttons. Is it still smash?
It still is smash. Yes, it says smash that like button, or I'll smash you.
Okay, there you go. This is the main show. So audio people, you got to head over and go watch the video. I am telling you, it's about 40 minutes of magic of us talking about this fight and the heavyweight division. But this time, we're going to do the news as we do each and every week. If you're watching, oh, I'm doing this all wrong. God damn. Please go to our pages and enjoy as I switch over. I should be switching over. I am completely screwing this up. That's on me. I have to turn on the video. I'm on camera now. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. That's probably where I'll start the video. So audio people, enjoy that intro. If you're just watching this video, hey, click the links down below. Go watch us talk about the Zhang Zhang versus Joyce fight. All right, commercials out of the way. And I'm going to say it one last time till the end of this hour. Click, like, subscribe, and smash it, or Miguel will smash you. That's kind of how that flies. Let's talk about the news, shall we, kids? First off, Bob Arum says he would be happy to promote Regis Prograis if he proves he is a real free agent. Regis Prograis seen here looking insane, more or less. I probably need to stop doing the screen share because it won't record correctly. I actually know this fact, and you think I would have done everything correctly. So I got to stop.
I think that is a politically correct way of Bob Arum saying Prograis can't read. That means that no. He's saying the young man needs to go back and look at his contract.
Check your contract. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah,
wait, Andrew, guess what? Let's ask Top Rank Bob, shall we? I mean, we haven't really killed Bob's voice for the day. Let's go all in on this, shall we? Joining us on the show, Top Rank Bob. Good morning. Wasn't I just on, or was that yesterday? No, Bob, that was like 12 minutes ago. Oh, no shit. Did I make a joke about Andrea? Yeah, you did. And his sex change and living in San Francisco, which makes you very non-woke. Well, yeah, I'm 90. What are they going to do? Fucking cancel me? Right. And you made a joke about Miguel. Manuel? Yeah, him. What did I call you? You called me a fucking asshole. Oh, cool. I nailed it. Yeah, listen, I'm a lawyer, Andrea, and I've reviewed this guy's contract. First of all, I think he's still under contract to somebody. I'm not exactly sure who. It could even be Triller or Al Heyman. I don't know. but it's a hell of a contract. I'm going to start using him. It's very Don King-like. I'm going to die doing that voice. I want it on my grave, Andrew. He went out and lost his voice because he just had to do Top Rank Bob one more time. What is it with Regis Prograis? Let's see exactly what Bob has to say. Listen, don't sleep on him. He's a terrific fighter. If he demonstrates to us that he is a free agent, a real free agent, we'd be happy to put him in the mix and make fights with him. How did Aaron, where is Steve Kim popping up in all this? How does Steve just pop up in these stories? That's it? That's all you said? Yeah, that's all I said. Why'd you tell Steve Kim? I don't know. He just showed up at my door and wanted to smoke pot. Are you alleging that Steve Kim showed up at your door, smoked pot? Yeah. Okay. Good for you, Top Rank Bob. So I don't believe this at all, Andrew. I don't believe, unless you're under contract to Bob right now, especially in this weight class, there's no way he's going to do it. No way. No way. Regis is too dangerous. The one thing I know about Regis, he's dangerous.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed is that these guys don't like working with Al Heyman. So if Al Heyman really is his manager, they'll do one fight deals with them.
Or even Triller, for that matter. I mean, that didn't go well for anyone.
And that was Triller's fault. They put way too much money into their pay-per-view fighters, their fights. However, their guaranteed purses were way too high. But this is more about if he's working with Al Heyman still, because I think it's more about that than it is with the Triller, or what was the other one? The BLK? Is that the name of the
BLK Prime? But
BLK
I don't think
Prime.
he was ever under contract with them, was he?
No. Okay, I thought this last fight might have been with them when he did that but that was Triller, huh? Him and the Cepeda.
You know what? No, I think that was BLK Prime actually. We have to look it up, but I mean, we haven't heard from Triller in a hot minute, so I'm almost positive that was BLK Prime. We have to look into that, but I'm sure that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I think it has more to do with Al Heyman. We don't know how Top Rank feels about Heyman behind closed doors. You know, like I said, we know they've worked together as far as the Tyson Fury and Wilder fight, major success. Except when you talk to Bob Arum, you'll kind of hear him throw little jabs in there about ESPN was the only one that made that thing a success. He always loves bringing up the numbers of what the Showtime and PBC pay-per-view did to compare to theirs. Which it wasn't close at all. So while they work together, he doesn't give them full credit for that Wilder Fury fight. And so I'm guessing that there are feelings behind closed doors, just a relationship he doesn't want to get into.
Miguel, is Regis Prograis the spoiler in this division?
He has the potential to be. He does legitimately, yeah. And I think for him, Top Rank is the best place for that, because I mean, we are going to have, from what I last read, Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez in June in New York. I mean, he's in prime spot to fight the winner of that. You know what I'm saying? And they're both in that Top Rank bubble, so of course he's down to get with Bob and Top Rank, because that could be a pretty big, a bigger money fight for him. And I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him fight any one of those, because we've been dying for Prograis to be more in main events and more in the limelight than he is. But his own free agent necessity, or however you want to call it, is kind of blocking that, right? But yeah, he most definitely has the potential to do so, because I'm down to see him fight either one of those guys. I'd pay for that. That would be a badass fucking scrap to see him and fight anyone at the winner of Teofimo and Taylor. And Top Rank is the place to be. So yeah, he better make that happen, because that's probably his best shot at being I mean, it is technically, because we consider Josh Taylor the number one dude in the division, and win or lose against Teofimo, and Regis is putting himself in a great position to fight the winner of that one. So I say he's probably should try to, I never say, right, put all your eggs in one basket, but he should probably put a lot of them into trying to get this fucking, contract with Top Rank.
All right, moving forward. Bob Arum, This is, and by the way, this is news from the past week today. I'm a big fan of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. So this is news from last week. We're catching up. Last week, Bob Arum named Andy Ruiz and Joe Joyce as Tyson Fury this summer. So let's remove Joe Joyce, who's probably, by the way, go watch the video. I truly believe Joe Joyce is going to wind up fighting Anthony Joshua, and somebody like Zhang Jing now gets put into the list. But let's talk about Andy Ruiz and these people into the mix and what Bob's actually thinking. Bob, what were your quotes this past week? Joyce would be possibly, assuming he gets by my fighter. We want him to fight Tyson Fury. Andy Ruiz would be a great possibility. They're both easy fights. All right, based on everything we know now and looking at the past, Andrew, who do you think Tyson Fury is getting for his basic payday?
Well, they were saying Andy. It's funny you brought up Andy Ruiz. They were saying him, and it possibly might be Andy. Did you guys see he got kicked out of his house recently?
Oh, no.
I know he broke up with the girlfriend, right? Like he was, didn't we cover this story? I feel like we covered this story. Like the girlfriend kicked him out or something. Like there was something great about this.
It's a wife with his 5 children, Lee.
Right. And he got booted because he went side piece, and considering, yeah.
So he's going to need some money here soon. You never want to go to court against a wife with 5 kids behind her.
Can I say this? Because Miguel knows that I could have made an incredibly derogatory sentence at that moment. As a guy who's basically sitting on the outskirts of East LA. Does this not show growth on my part, Miguel, that I did not go for the low blow shot?
It shows an amazing amount of restraint. So I'm proud of you, Lee. I'm proud of you, Lee.
And by the way, doing that meta joke, if you don't get the
Yeah.
joke that's in my head right now, what do you want me to tell you? I mean, come on. I don't want to be saying he's being stereotypical, Miguel. He's being kind of stereotypical.
Of what, a pro athlete?
You can take somebody out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the guy kind of vein.
No, he's a moron. He lost it all. Bro, you're going to go to court against 5 children. You know what his alimony is going to be? The house is gone.
You're talking to me on this topic. Is this even a real joke? I have more experience on alimony than most of the Western Hemisphere. Dude, it's all the same. They just do math. They look at your numbers and they go, you're paying $10,000 a month. What do you mean I'm paying $10,000 a month?
Yeah. And you got to move out of your house. Okay. All right. Well,
do I get to keep the side piece? No, side piece left because you got no money, bro.
Yeah. Now you're a criminal. Now you got law issues. Now you got legal issues. So yeah.
Oh, fuck. Andy's got to fight. I'm surprised he's not fighting, Miguel.
Well, I mean, I think what was, I don't remember offhand his last fight, but I mean, like, yeah, it's you would think he needs to be. I mean, keep in mind he's got his troubles outside of the ring, so I'm sure that's probably keeping his mind occupied and not being able to concentrate on staying in the gym and actually pursuing his next big money fight or something like that. So I'm sure that has something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, and Andrew, did it say what specifically was going on with him getting kicked out of his house? Like, was it?
No, it was very straight. Am I wrong about this, Andrew? It was like extremely straightforward. Got caught with the piece. She threw his ass out, and she's taking all his money.
He got caught with I believe, a Mexican celebrity. What do you call these? When they're not celebrities, they're
telenovela, or is she a reality? Do they have reality stars in Mexico?
She's a girl. She's like a social media chick that was dating another singer, and then the wife caught Andy and her at the same resort. They were posting the same things, but not in the same photos. And then I guess he told her when he got back home, and she confronted him. And she told him, "Ow."
There is no way that the influencer is from the same town he's from. Like, I'm trying to piece this all together. Like, he literally would have to go and like hunt her down. Like, and he's burning money. Oh, Andrew, he's so done. He's so
Unfortunately, you guys, it seems like the wife is prettier than the side piece. It's like, dude, you like fuck this all up.
All right,
Like,
all right. Can we discuss that?
Well, I mean,
Let's discuss that. Hold on. Pretty is one thing, but freaky is another.
no, it doesn't. No, Lee. Not when you're gonna lose everything. Sorry. When you live in a fucking apartment and you're gonna lose a fucking car or some shit, that's fine. When you live on a fucking avocado ranch worth millions, you're worth millions. No, he lost everything.
I
bro.
would totally argue this point. Am I wrong, Miguel? I mean, I've been with some extremely beautiful women, but you're just not freaky enough.
No, with 5 kids, I'm sure she was doing, Lee.
From a single person's perspective, yeah, I can see it, right? I mean, this chick might not be great looking, but she's a 10 in the bedroom. It could be that homegirl over here, the wife, does the mandatory starfish shit. Like, go ahead, get your shit off or whatever. And I'm sure that's pretty much what it ultimately comes down to. So I get it, but considering there's so much on the line, bro, it's like you don't want to take that goddamn risk, man. It's like, yes, you busted your ass to get to where you're at right now. You got the house, you got the money for the time being, at least.
Who's ever lost anything would tell you the ass was never worth it, you guys.
It's not worth it. No. I mean, again, this is
you're fucking out of your mind, bro.
If you're a single dude, that's another story. But if you're already legally, you got a legal binding contract with a fucking, or with your wife, which is what a damn marriage contract is. It's like, okay, dude, you don't risk that shit. You're knee deep into this shit. You can't be. It's not worth it at that point. If you're a single dude, it's another story. Go with one chick to another chick, whatever the fuck, bro. But once you sign that dotted line, your ass is the fucking States. So
okay, wait, I'm going to ask you a real question, Andrew, because I've experienced this in my lifetime. Okay, based on the number of marriages I've had, and yes, I am the goat. Wait, how many months, Andrew, of not getting any before you start to look?
Dude, he had 5 fucking kids. What do you like? I don't understand what you're talking about.
He's got the same, like, he's in your league. My question is, I am making a blind assumption. I don't know shit about her. Okay, I'm just saying because I've got experience with this. How many months before you start looking?
Lee, that's why you're single, because you're asking this question right now. How many months?
Not a crazy question.
Your fucking wife? Like, are you serious right now, bro? That's what you felt like asking. That's a question, Lee.
Yeah.
And Andy Ruiz.
I'm defending Andy. Let's just say hypothetically, Andy has not gotten any for 5 months. Is he expected to just be cool because he has 5 kids?
Yeah, I think you're just trying to get someone's feathers ruffled, and that's a pretty dumb statement, dude.
No, I look, I have a divorce based on this.
Female listening to this just put red flags all over you, dude. Sorry, it's just not a good. You only get one credit card, bro. You keep. Loans anywhere, any more time. You're done. You red flag on your credit with that statement, dude. I'm telling you.
That's actually the funniest thing said today.
Come on, Lee. Come on.
You got flagged on your credit on that one.
You we dropped. My wife. Your credit score with my
Andrew literally just wrote the best joke of the day, and I wrote a lot of jokes. Feel free to click like, subscribe, and go watch the video. I tried. Andrew just trumped me with the credit joke. Oh my god.
Fucked. This guy is fucked. Now look, this is what I wanted to say. We all had him losing his last fight. Andy hasn't looked good in a while, man. That Anthony Joshua victory was a while ago, you guys. He's been outboxed. He's been outworked. He looks fat and lazy. Joe Guzman has a field day on his fights. It's fucking hilarious. Even Lennox Lewis, Lennox is unfortunately, he likes to eat more than he does train. They clown this dude a lot. Where are you going? Dude, you lose your next fight, you guys. The PBC already looks bad. I don't even know what they're promising Andy Ruiz right now in the state that they're in. What happens if he loses his next fucking fight? And you went and threw away everything? Yeah, what are you going to do? I don't even think they're going to make him sell the house. The house is immediately going to go to the wife with 5 kids.
Listen, bro, she was a freaky piece of ass. I want him to say that. I want to find a clip of him just going, listen, bro, you don't understand. It was a freaky piece of ass. Men, look. If you're gonna rank things that will make you crazy.
That girl's already gone.
Oh yeah.
Like you gotta understand.
Oh yeah. No, she's too public now. I mean,
he marries his side chick. It didn't say that. It said he was on a vacation with a social media fucking celebrity or whatever the fuck those girls are, and now he lost everything. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not the wife's fault. Andy Ruiz showed his true colors as a man, as a father, and he's a fucking bum. I'm sorry. That's what he shows. His wife, the embarrassment that he put her through because he put this shit on social media is going to cost him. They're going to bust his, you probably don't know that, but they're going to bust his ass for that in court. She has to go through therapy.
No, they're in California. It doesn't matter. It's a 50-50 state. He's just screwed. He's in California. He is in California. It's a straight up 50-50 state. Again, I have personal experience.
When the next fight that he has, I'll be rooting against his ass. I'm sorry. Whoop his ass.
All right, Andrew. Here's my real question.
Embarrass his wife like that? How dare
I'm with you. Yeah. And by the way, I agree with you.
Kids, bro.
I'm just wondering.
They're all tied into social media. All these kids are. That's what you want your dad to do to your mom? He's fucked. Fuck him. He's fucked.
Yeah, that's why my daughter's not allowed to ever watch a Fight Net Radio. Ever. Ever. She's promised me I will be dead before she goes back and watches the videotape to find out how crazy her dad was. So here's my question, Andrew. And I'm going to pose the question to you, Miguel. It's a game, so everybody play along. We haven't played a game on the show in quite a while. What makes a man crazier, Andrew? Is it A, cocaine, which over the last couple of weeks we've got stories about that, or is it B? And by the way, cocaine's a hell of a drug, to make the quote. Or is it B, pussy? What makes a man crazier, Andrew, in your mind, and makes him do dumber shit?
The Bible shows us that man has been fucking up over women from the very beginning. You can look at Adam and Eve. So I'm gonna go with women, Lee.
Good answer. Good answer. Miguel, for you, is it pussy or cocaine?
Pussy has brought down empires, so I'm gonna go with that one.
It started wars. In fact, the war in Ukraine, just on inside information, might be based on pussy. Zelensky and Putin are actually fighting over the same social media influencer. That would be a great title for this video. Oh my God, the click rate.
It gets our presidents in trouble. Trust me, that takes the number one spot.
Well, that will be the clip that's going out. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's my favorite story of the day. Moving forward, and I can't even believe I'm about to say this, Louis Collazo makes his return on April 19th in Plant City, Florida. Why did I include this story? How old is Louis Collazo, Miguel? I want to show everybody that I'm back. I have one last run in me. I'm going to be a champion. By the way, these are actual quotes. He's got to be 40-ish, Miguel? 40-something-ish?
Is it a PBC card?
It doesn't say yet.
Okay.
The fact that he actually did a press release to like float that out there, it's crazy to, right? So for those of you who don't know, Miguel, Andrew, we had a birthday with Gennady. Gennady's only going to do a high payday. Eddie Hearn wants to do the promotion because he only wants a high ticket payday, right? So my question is, are people buying tickets based on a name, Miguel? Will they just buy because of the name on the fight, or are they buying the best fights? Like, that's the problem we have now.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously that's going to be the name is going to be a big deal. I mean, I think he's of Puerto Rican descent, right? So, I mean, I guess he's going to go to the East Coast. That's kind of his thing. And, Florida or Miami. No, not Miami. What was it? What was Plant City or Plant
City?
Whatever the hell that is.
When I read the story first, I go, he's fighting Caleb Plant? I'd watch that fight. I'm pretty sure he's going to lose.
But yeah, I mean, you can understand why he's going to that part of the country, and with his name recognition, because I mean he has a slight bit of a resurgence later in his career.
I think he's Puerto Rican, isn't he?
Yeah, I
I
think
want
he's
to.
Puerto Rican descent, something like that.
So maybe
Yeah.
you pick up a bump from that. I think in Florida.
Right, right, exactly. And I'm not even sure where specifically from. I think he's from New York, but nonetheless, like, yeah, he's staying on that East Coast, right, which makes sense. That'll bring some Puerto Rican fans to his fights, and ultimately, I guess it depends who he's fighting against too. But like I said, he's had a slight bit of a resurgence in the later part of his career, so I think he's trying to like go out with a nice payday. But yeah, I mean, really, like he barely moves the needle really with any one promoter, so I guess he's doing what he can to stay relevant.
Andrew, would you watch a Louis Collazo fight on Showtime?
No.
It's Showtime.
The one that I'm reading says Pro Box. It's going to be streamed by Pro Box TV. Lee.
There you go. Okay, so
Uh,
he's going full ballroom boxing with a live stream.
Yeah. So it's not PBC. This is Pro Box TV. The opponent doesn't look anything special too. 17-2, 1-12. That's not a great record at all. He is from Mexico, so you have the Mexican Puerto Rican rivalry going on there.
But I've had this. How long have I had this argument? Let's just hypothetically say you're Roy Jones, right? Like you're doing these semi-high profile fights. Roy Jones can fight in Pensacola indefinitely in a ballroom against anyone, and he's going to get a crowd, right? And he'd be getting a nice payday every month. He could do 12 shows a year, fill a ballroom at the local courtyard. I don't know why more fighters don't follow this format. Adrian Broner would make more money if he fought in this format.
Oh, well, are you asking me that? Because Adrian Broner is kind of trying that right now, and he ended up with Don King. So we're gonna see what Broner is worth here. He tried that route though, Lee. He went with one company; they couldn't even get a pay-per-view off the ground, and now he's with like the devil of boxing.
The devil of boxing. Boy, that's another good title for this week's show.
Literally, Don King has been blackballed out of this sport. He's not let into some network buildings at the very end of his run. So I don't know where Adrian Broner thinks that's going besides back to an Al Heyman card, because in the recent times or whatever, it seems like Don King was only messing with Al Heyman, but we'll see.
Well, Miguel, I would make the argument that there is now a portfolio of semi-retired, retired fighters, Amir Khan, Kell Brooks, Gennady Golovkin, Louis Collazo, Adrian Broner. Like we can do this in almost every weight category, where they're just doing these obscure one-off fights and milking it and taking a payday based on their name. And I would still argue, go get a courtyard, go put a fight card together, get somebody to promote it, go make a few bucks, stream it online. You'll do just fine. Do it every month.
Yeah.
You'll get a consistent payday. You'll still make a few $100,000 every single year. Instead, these guys I want the home run. I got to fight so-and-so or I'm not fighting at all. Okay.
Yeah.
I would rather get half the grape than none of the grape.
Well, I mean, they didn't get to where they got to, whatever level they reached by, just looking for half the grape. They were trying to go. They go all in. They go basically go big or go home kind of thing, and that's how they made it as far as they have in their careers. But I mean, really, like I think at this point, and this might be a slightly different route to go to, but there's a lot of these boxers who tried the bare knuckle boxing form,
Right.
and they go in
Again,
that direction.
another great payday.
It's like
Another great payday.
and I'm sure he can do quite well there. Like I don't think, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more brutal, right? And it's harder on the hands, and at his age he probably won't heal. Yeah, but I mean, he can make some pretty serious fucking good money. Like they're throwing stupid money at like fucking no name dudes. I mean, guys who had some UFC experience. It's just like really like you're throwing money at that guy because they're just trying to get names. But that wouldn't be a bad route for him to go to. Especially considering how easy. And again, he's not a superstar by any stretch, so it's not like his name is that recognizable. But he's fought guys like fucking Ricky Hatton and others. So it's not like the guy is a complete unknown. We know him. He's not that obscure. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I mean, it would make more sense if he went that route instead of trying to continue these like boxing, especially we know how fucking crooked boxing can be. And if you get and as a matter of fact, I think he was with Don King at one time, Claus I'm talking about. But anyway, point is, like, I think you'd have an easier path of least resistance going another direction and going to or one of these kind of like fight cards where you have fucking Roy Jones and Showtime Pettis or some shit like that, right? Like one of those kind of things. I mean, that would probably be his best bet at this age, really, because that'll be probably the biggest payday you can get instead of trying to like stay on the straight and narrow with the sport of boxing.
How about slap fight?
Oh, jeez. I didn't even know that guys. I mean, is that even still going? I thought they got the boot from TBS. I don't know.
Don't know. I don't get this group of guys that are kind of hanging on, right? And if you look at the stories from the past week, you've got Amir Khan. I'm going to work with VADA and teach people about, not taking. Dude, you took drugs. Like they caught you. Like I don't know what you think your legacy is, or maybe it's bad for your religious beliefs. I don't know what your story is. How about shut the fuck up? You still have your wife, even though Anthony Joshua, she was banging Anthony Joshua or whoever the fuck she was banging. Like, boxers need to box. And Andrew, here's my question. Are they more concerned with making money or being the world champion?
Well, I mean, I think everyone's number one goal is money, right? And what's bad about the sport right now is we have a lot of people.
Sorry.
That's my son.
Yes,
Turn it
is.
Turn it off.
I want to say hi.
Let's go. Let's go out.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Booted by dad.
The problem we have right now is we have too many fighters that think they could make money without the belts. So the belts kind of became worthless in the sport, where before, when I was younger, Lee, swear to God, I've always said this, not only were the belts to me fucking badass when I seen like Roy Jones or one of these fighters that had multiple titles in one division come out with all of them shining. I also thought it was badass when the opponent, they would have underneath say he was undefeated and then say number one rated in the world. They didn't need a title. We didn't need this interim title around the other guy's waist to make him look special too. The number one ranked fighter in the world, that to me when I was young, that made the dude look badass. So it's kind of sad where the sport has gone. But yes, to the answer is yes. Everyone thinks they're worth $1 million with or without a title nowadays, and that's the problem we have.
And without facing top guys, like they're already demanding like big paydays without, because I mean that's kind of the whole point of these big paydays, is that what comes with it, you would think, right? And historically is the risk of fighting another top guy and finding out who the legitimate number one dude is, or whatever, number two, number three, whatever the case is. But when you face other guys who are also undefeated, who put your undefeated record on the line, and then we get ourselves a big payday because there's a humongous risk involved. It's high risk, high reward type of thing. Now that's not the case. Now it's like fighting fucking taxi cab drivers, and they're expected to get 800K, 900K for this. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, it's not just the fact that they can just go out there and expect and demand high paydays with no fucking straps, but like without beating, I'm just talking about fighting top level guys, but I'm saying like beating them, So yeah, that's another thing. So it's not just
that's
the straps,
the Berlanga disease, right? So it's the Let's give him his own verb. It's the Berlanga disease. You believe that you've cruised all the way through, and you suddenly deserve. I just watched Creed 3. The worst part about Creed 3. By the way, go watch it. It's not horrible. This guy that he fights gets a shot at the heavyweight championship with no professional fights. And the argument by Creed is, well, when Rocky fought Apollo, but he had like 80 fights at that point. Like Rocky had 80 fights before it wasn't like a complete guy who just came from the amateurs to the pros. Like they literally gave in Creed 3 a guy going from the amateurs to the heavyweight championship of the world. Like that's crazy. And that's where we are. It's the Berlanga disease.
the biggest thing about the Rocky movie, and I'll get back on the Berlanga because that is a great crossover. I was going to talk about him when Miguel was finished, but they say in Rocky 1, Rocky is a fill-in for somebody else, right?
But he still had 50 fights or 60 fights at that point.
But it doesn't matter. Most of the time, when you lose a fighter the week or 2 weeks before your fight, the fill-in guy is always a bum.
Always.
It's always, you know, you don't ever, you know, so that Rocky story played in anyone who knows boxing.
Right.
The guy got hurt. They put in a guy that was from the city, remember? Because he tells them, I want a local guy. I want a hero. We'll make this big. So, yeah, all right.
So Creed 3 tries the same thing, right? So Drago is challenging the heavyweight champion. Drago gets hurt. And so Creed, who is the promoter, goes, I'm going to put my buddy in from my past who's never fought a pro fight, and that's going to be the fill-in. And this guy went. Like, there would never be a guy who went straight from amateurs, went to jail, got out of jail, and then jump straight to, like, even as a fill-in, that would never happen, Andrew. Like, it would.
Right. No fights at all. Yeah.
No fights at all. And he wins, by the way. That's kind of the whole setup to the big
spoiler
fight.
Spoiler alert.
I know.
No, that's not the spoiler. The spoiler is
spoiler?
Creed versus this guy that he grew up with. That's the big
Yeah,
fight.
I mean, let's be real. A lot of these fucking Rocky movies. I mean, we know it's a movie, but they do not stick
But it's
to
playing
any
out.
boxing shit. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it is.
Berlanga is playing this out. Like, in Berlanga's mind, he really thinks he deserves a shot at being the undisputed champion.
Now, one, he does deserve a shot. Okay, that's first off. But it was at the cost that, is it at the cost that he's asking? Probably not. You see, the best promoter in the league cut him. So that shows me that he was on the wrong side of whatever negotiating that they were doing. Bob Arum don't cut millionaires. I'm sorry, Berlanga, he don't. He never has. He's never gotten it wrong.
He's a single. He's a single, Andrew.
In my 43 years of living, Miguel, Bob Arum has never gotten it wrong. All right. So you're on the wrong side of that one. Now, the dipshit that signed him, I haven't liked his business decisions in fucking years. So Eddie Hearn does not impress me by running out there and signing Berlanga. To me, Berlanga, that's a red flag right there that Eddie Hearn was the one that he's done nothing for anybody's career. Go look at Joshua and Canelo. He had two of the best careers to start off any fucking business. And look at what he did to theirs. So, no.
But Andrew, he likes lasagna better than spaghetti.
But hear me out. Hear me out. If anyone's been watching Berlanga's feed lately, this guy's building I'm going to call it a mansion. It's a big house. In California, it's not that big, you know, but obviously it's a big house where he's building it. It's a nice home. He doesn't even have a title. He's walking around with these diamonds. He's in Dubai. He's in freaking these other places, traveling the world. This kid doesn't have a fucking title.
Or even a win over somebody big or that.
Miguel, did he not fight an opponent?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why fucking Top Rank let his ass go. Number one, he was having a shitty ass performance a couple of fights prior when he got knocked down, and then in a fucking moment of just like despair or something, he ends up biting his motherfucker in the neck or his ear or some shit. Yeah,
Lee, he didn't bite fucking Evander Holyfield. He bit the showcase guy.
Wait. All right. So for those of you who are regulars listening, I don't think this is making actual video. Andrew's incredibly epic rant from the other story. So if you're listening to the full audio or whatever, we have glossary terms on this show if it's your first time listening. Does Berlanga deserve a glossary term, Miguel?
A glossary term?
Yeah, right. I'm going to go full Jim Rome, right? So we know what pulling an Adrian Broner is. Pulling an Adrian Broner, we know what that means. We have the newer one, which is pulling a Kell Brooks, right? I would argue, did you just pull a Berlanga?
I mean, we can give him that much credit. I'm sure he's not the first person to have done it, but I mean,
He's pretty strong.
he's
He's
the most
very
recent.
strong.
He's the
He's
most
very
recent person to
strong.
have done it, and generally speaking, the most recent is what we remember the most. So, yeah, we can go that route. Yeah, he just
And
pulled a Berlanga, not fighting big motherfuckers and
pull,
not having a strap.
yeah, right. Wait,
Uh,
Andrew, and one more, and you're going to be the approval on this. Can we have pulling an Andy Ruiz?
oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah, most definitely. With
You
as
just pulled an Andy Ruiz. What are you doing?
unfortunately, with as many times as we hear that these guys get caught with side girls, yeah, you probably Andy Ruiz is going to be a very high standard to get over with the 5 children, and it's not 5 baby mamas, you guys. It's 5 with 1.
Mhm.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're wondering, do you guys really have terms like that? You want me to prove it? You pulled a Felix Trinidad. You pulled a like. We can keep going on this. Like we've coined phrases. Like these fighters are literally creating definitions that are spectacular. I mean, I don't.
Berlanga put his whole future in debt with the purchases and the things he's been doing. The young man hasn't even established himself as a world champion, and he's acting like he's a world champion. It's very sad. The first opponent you're going up against is Quigley. You know, a rough guy, but you should beat him. This should be a showcase fight for him. What if it isn't? What if it isn't? It's like, man, you've already stumbled. I think with the last 2 or 3 opponents, top ranked. I know it's 2 for sure that he stumbled on. He just didn't look as good. And one of them, he got suspended for half a year because he's biting. He's fucking biting. And that's the guy you want to put. Oh, yeah, that's my champ. I tell you, Eddie Hearn. I don't know what DAZN Dazn is doing with this guy. Why they continue to let him drive their ship into the fucking ground. But it's that is not the guy you want to put your money behind. Is someone who's just got suspended for literally biting a fucking boxer. And then to see what
that would be pulling a Mike Tyson. You pulled a Mike Tyson, bro. You pulled.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? And by the way, I want to correct my Felix Trinidad because I think Errol Spence did it better than Felix Trinidad. Right? He only did it on a motorcycle. So Errol Spence might be the better term for. Oh, you got into an accident and of course, because we're talking Puerto Rican, you pulled a Verdejo. Wow. Good for you. Wow, fighters are creating great definitions for this show. I feel like I could literally put down a list of fighters and you could have a complete glossary set of terms for all these assholes. I mean, it's quite fantastic. And by the way, to have a Mike Tyson glossary term, I don't know who I'd pick on this one. Berlanga, as being a guy who thinks he needs a title more than everyone else, is pretty strong, although almost all the PBC falls in that category. But he's been the most vocal. And certainly Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield was way more spectacular. I mean, way more spectacular. Let's jump to this before Andrew gets taken away by kids. Michaela Mayer won last night. She's not going back down in weight, Miguel. And we all know why she's not. She can't get the fight, right? So she's going to fight here and grab all these belts because, hey, fun fact, she likes the BBC. Just saying it out loud, Miguel, and I know for a fact. All right. Everybody's like, what did he just say? Am I wrong?
If you're talking about the channel on TV, yes, you're correct. If we're gonna go that route.
You know, I'm probably my own glossary term. What do you mean you couldn't go to a fight? I pulled the Lee Honish. So Michaela is not going back down because she's not going to get the fight. She's not. She's tried multiple times. Right. So now she's going to stay here at this weight class where she literally dwarfed her opponent and she couldn't knock her out. I mean, that was the most shocking part to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, and
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, like I want to say this was, this was Mayer's debut at lightweight, right? And she looked huge. She looks fucking big.
Huge,
And you know,
huge.
her opponent has fought at lightweight, right? I mean, I'm sure she's not. Her opponent obviously is small as well, right? So it wasn't like she was a big lightweight as it is, but nonetheless, yeah, she said it, you know, after the fight that she likes to fight on the inside, so she was able to muscle kind of, you know, muscle her opponent around, and she did a, you know, fantastic job. But I mean, like, and they even said it to the broadcast. She's not a, you know, one punch knockout type of person, right? So you know, you're gonna move up a weight class. You can't expect necessarily to go in there and knock the person out.
If you're
Especially
3 feet
considering
taller than your opponent, I certainly expect it.
I mean, it wasn't like she didn't hand her ass to her, because she did. You know, her opponent, you know, took, and mind you, this was a 24-hour notice type fight, and yes, she was preparing for another fight, but she basically had to cut her training camp short to, you know, take the fight with Michaela. So she took the opportunity, and you know, maybe she wasn't 100% prepared, of course, as generally they're not when it comes to these last minute fights. And we're talking about 24-hour notice. That's when she got the phone call, right? So she went the distance, so it's a moral victory nonetheless, right? She went in there and hung in with one of the best, or at least former champion, right, at 130 prior to moving up, but former unified champ at that. So yeah, there's no shame in that, you know. And they put on a great fight. It was a fantastic fight. They were throwing bombs, and you know, shit. And first off, I want to say I'm disappointed that we're not going to get a Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner rematch.
It's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, right? Which is why, you know, she left the weight class. But that pisses me off, because it's like that was two of the best female fighters at that weight class, and just out of, you know, petty shit, it's like, no, I'm not going to give you the rematch. It's like, no, fine. You know, it's like, oh, god damn it, please, really. But anyway, nonetheless, you know, we know that Baumgartner is a better fighter, or at least it was back then. And at some point, I have to assume she too will be moving up. So I guess maybe Michaela is trying to kind of like maybe go up to 135, collect some belts. So by the time that Baumgartner moves up to 135, which I'm sure at some point she will down the line, you know, she'll have to go through Michaela to get to the belts. I guess that she's kind of thinking a couple of steps ahead. And you know, her first step was last night, but we didn't see anything different from Michaela. It's the same shit. She gets hit a lot. She still gets hit a lot, you know. And she was a lot taller, is a lot taller than her opponent, Lucy Wildheart. But she didn't fight tall. She liked to fight at the inside. She would hunch over, and she got clocked a lot. Somebody with more power at 135 could seriously damage her. And they were talking about it being too fast to bring up names like Katie Taylor. So they're like, let's not go there yet. Let's give her a couple of fights. Let's get her settled into the lightweight division before we start, you know, putting big names like that in. And again, it's not like, you know, Taylor herself is a knockout artist by any stretch. You know, the majority of these fights go the distance. There's really, that's just how it is. But nonetheless, yeah, great fight. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love seeing these, you know, both people connect on one another. And even though the scorecards show it was very one-sided, every round was pretty close. You know, they did actually, you know, went back and forth quite a bit. So anyway, yeah, great fight and a great victory for Michaela.
Andrew?
Unfortunately, I was not impressed with Michaela's performance, and I'm not impressed with women's boxing. Look, a year ago, we're over here talking about, oh, the men need to follow the women, and the women are fighting each other, and blah, 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 blah. And now all of a sudden, Katie Taylor hasn't rematched Serrano. They're milking the fuck out of that thing. Mayer's not fighting Baumgartner. They're milking and now you're telling me Mayer's not ready for fucking Taylor? Oh, who the fuck am I going to watch this girl fight? I'm sorry. I don't want to see them versus some opponent that I don't know. I haven't seen. These girls were hot, man. These fights were going to be sellouts. I'm telling you right now, the boys are waking up. They're starting to sign over here. We're getting bigger fights. You girls are going to be fucking lost again. No one's going to be paying top price to watch your fight. If we got other fights with men that are putting titles on the line and that are undefeated, if they're going up against each other or their pay-per-views are coming up, no one's buying yours. You got to strike while it's hot. If boxing has never taught us that, or taught us anything, you got to strike while it's fucking hot. Yeah, I don't understand what the girl boxing community is doing. It's almost like now you guys are acting like the men. You guys all got Baumgartner got a little bit of fame, and now she's all fucking scared to get back in the ring. You know, she gave you the title shot. You were the fucking unknown one before Mayer gave you the shot. Why aren't you giving that back to her? And another thing I don't like about boxing fans, we can't forget when fighters act cowardly like this. when there is a rematch that should be made and one side is totally holding out, I don't want to hear about when Bumgarner beat Mayer if Bumgarner ain't going to give her a fucking rematch, and we all know that it's her that's staying out. You lose credit for the first fight. Let me tell you something. The first fight's very close, and I was going for Bumgarner. It's a very close fight. Trinidad versus De La Hoya. It's a very close fucking first fight. Then Don King and Trinidad pull this bitch-ass shit where they just want to leave, never give Oscar the rematch. Everyone acts like Oscar's the one to blame for that. No. Chavez versus fucking Whitaker. HBO came out and said it. They said it is a shame. We've given Whitaker a $10 million guarantee offer to rematch Chavez, and he's saying no. Everyone every year wants to bring up that one fight. Fuck that. What about the fucking rematch?
Andrew, how much coffee have you had?
5 cups. 5 cups, Lee.
This was all coffee, bro. All coffee today. All right. Andrew, I'm going to remove you because I respect your marriage and I'm more afraid of your wife than probably you are. Miguel, is floating around the same weight class because Michaela is now on OnlyFans, if you guys didn't notice. Let's talk about the 3 people in this weight class between 125 and 135 that are really the only people you should spend money on. And I want them ranked. We have Michaela Mayer, who just showed up on OnlyFans. Do you think she's showing anything?
I
think you have to, right? Like, if you're going to demand money,
I don't know. Well, because here's the thing.
Well, she could do the artsy shit where she's covering it up like this and like doing the whole. Well,
yeah, and that's what I'm thinking because, like, keep in mind, like when OnlyFans started, I don't think it was meant to be what it actually became. It was something else. It was exclusive.
It's a goddamn porn site. Let's just cut to the chase.
But it became that. It didn't come out as that. It was just like exclusive content, whatever exclusive means. That's a very broad statement. So it was very that first, and then we find out like, oh shit, we know exactly what was going on, and then that just took over. So and I was actually texting or
you don't see Ryan Garcia on OnlyFans.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing. I know I get that, but I'm curious. I want to like sign
this
up
is
for
a
her
deep
OnlyFans.
dive. Why are writers not doing this story? I think this is the story.
I want to sign up for her OnlyFans to see what she posts, and then like call my credit card company and claim it's a fraudulent.
And complain, right? Yeah, somebody stole my credit card. All right,
give me my money back. And be like, okay, that's how we can find out, get our answers.
Let me give you another name in that weight class area.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl Gonzalez, who likes to get drunk and post just the most. God bless her. If I had known she was in San Diego before I left, I know where she trains now. I literally would have went there to train just to watch her. Pearl is nuts. Like, that is the definitive Latina crazy chick who gets drunk on Friday, who's single, who fights too much. She does bare knuckle to boxing to MMA. Like, pfft. All right. And the third party, I'll say it correctly, Ebony Ebane Bridges. Now, if you're paying money, who are you giving money to first, Miguel?
Oh man, I mean,
that's a tough one, right?
I'm gonna be biased towards Latinas. Come on now, like this is kind of a
Pearl's crazy. I mean, for those of you who don't understand, really follow her on social media. Like, she really does get drunk, and she runs around her house and shoots videos.
Like you guys, we know why the girls are doing it. We know, we get it. What's up with the male fighters? Hey, go to my OnlyFans page. Hey, you subscribe to my. What straight dude is going to Berlanga's OnlyFans page and paying to watch what? What are they actually getting? Yeah. Interviews that you get for free on the internet anyways, because he does interviews with other websites? What are we getting? Workout?
That's what I'm saying. Exclusive. Like, what exactly are we like looking?
What are we getting? Like, I want to know. Like, I pay for Michaela.
Does a Broner have one too? Like, I could swear Broner.
Oh my god! You just turned me on. Like, wow.
Bro,
I'm signing up right now because the possibility of seeing Adrian Broner naked. Woo! I'm so excited. What do you think about that top rank, Bob?
Inside shot of me running from the room to the shower.
I left you out on purpose By the way, for everybody who's going to report back to Andrew's wife, I left him out of that discussion on purpose. Let's get to our featured story and the last story of the week, Andrew. We've stopped. We've talked. Yeah, go ahead.
I hung up because I thought you meant you were ending the show. So
no. You know what we have to talk about. You know what we have to talk about.
Yeah, my bad.
Literally the entire internet this week. It's what he said. It's what she said. It's what he said. It's what she said. And you realize we have not had him on the show in how many months, Miguel? How many months has it been since we've had our Oscar on the show?
It's been a while. We miss him. He needs to make a cameo.
Listen, bro. Listen. At least I get your name right, Miguel.
I'm listening, Oscar. I'm listening.
Listen. I still don't know about Andrea. Why is she having a sex change up there in San Francisco? I don't know.
That, man.
Listen, bro. This is the fight to save boxing. Literally.
I like your new abs, Oscar. I like your new abs, by the way.
I paid a lot of money for those,
that's
bro.
His OnlyFans. Do you have an
Listen,
OnlyFans?
bro. Listen, bro. I paid a lot of money for those. All right? Listen. Meet me at the 35er. Don't make me kick your ass out back. All right? Listen, bro. You know, they keep on every decade, fights to save boxing, blah, blah, blah. This is the fight to save boxing. And the reason why is because, well, I'm putting the fight on. I mean, I'm just being honest because I'm the golden boy, right? Even though I like to do lots of cocaine, allegedly, and like get drunk and like switch women every 30 days for somebody who's way too inappropriately young. And I like to wear, fishnets. But forget that. It's because two young guys, two undefeated guys who are the best are willing to fight each other, bro. That's what I used to do. How come you don't have glossary on your fucking show, Lee, about me, right? Like, I used to fight everybody. Like, that's the way Bob would book it. I mean, he fixed some of those. I admit it. Listen, bro, stop arguing with me. Oscar, are you, like, having an argument in your mind? Listen, bro. Shut the fuck up. These guys are willing to fight each other, and you can see the anticipation and feel it. The sellout in 4 minutes told me I'm going to be rich again, and I can buy more cocaine, allegedly. It's a great indication that this pay-per-view is going to be huge, which, again, means I can buy lots of cocaine, allegedly. By the way, these are actual quotes. Yeah, you can take out all the joke parts, but these are Oscar's actual quotes, Andrew. This guy is putting himself over like he's the promoter of everything.
Yeah. I hear you.
Oh my God, Oscar is insane. Again, Miguel, I actually think we do need an Oscar glossary term, which is how many days in a row have you done cocaine and been drinking before you talk to the press?
You can keep clowning him all you want. The guy is one fight away again. He's one fight away. I love how you said it.
I'm back, bro. I'm back. One fight. I'm back, bro.
His guy's got to win. It's an uphill battle, but he's one fight away. He has another fighter that is right in the line to take the face of boxing. Canelo did it years ago. When Oscar De La Hoya got Canelo that deal with DAZN, Eddie Hearn had nothing to do with that. That was all De La Hoya working with DAZN. He's about to do it again.
From a story standpoint, Andrew, I agree with you. And there's part of me that wants Gervonta Davis to win just because it would fuck Oscar up so bad.
But it fucks the sport up.
Oh, my God. It would fuck Oscar up. Like, it might be the end of Golden Boy.
Gervonta is more of a thug than he is a fighter. I'm sorry. Gervonta plays that role himself. I'm sorry. The jewelry, the court cases, the disregard for respect of other people outside of the ring. He doesn't act like a boxer. Not at all. He acts like a Mike Tyson thug. You know where Mike Tyson ended up, Gervonta? He ended up in prison. I'm sorry. And when he got out, he was Mike Tyson became a
billionaire from pot.
Supposedly after. No, but he became this cool guy after boxing. When he was in boxing, he's an asshole. What? They have clips of him telling women reporters that he don't talk to women unless he fucks them. They have him on record saying things like
by the way, because this might affect me getting laid in the future. Not a bad sentence. Not a bad sentence.
bites Lennox Lewis on the leg, bites Evander in the ear, tells people he wants to eat their kids. People still don't know if that meant he wanted to give someone a blowjob or if he was literally eating baby. I don't know what the fuck that meant, but the guy's delusional as fuck. Well, he's a fighter. He did nothing good for our sport. There was no moms like, oh, I want my son to be the next Mike. Well, what the fuck, man? Right now, Gervonta's got 2 domestic cases on him. One of them ends with his girl saying he's going to kill me on the fucking voice message. Then he's got a video of him running a red light and nailing 4 people in a car. One of them, I believe, is pregnant. Like, this whole check that Gervonta's getting is probably gone, you guys, because this court case, I believe he just pled guilty to. We don't even know the outcome to what he's going to be paying those 4 people. So, no, Gervonta's totally bad for the sport. He goes on there. He acts like a jackass on the full access shows. You know, I don't like his confidence. I don't even want. We'll get into that later. But no, he is not right. He is Mike Tyson. If he wins, he's going to be a guy that, yes, people are watching because they want to see him lose and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we'll live through.
He's just like Floyd. Yeah, I get all that hype. All that hype. You want my real opinion at this moment, before the weigh-in, before the betting, before everything? I think he's literally going to get outclassed and outboxed for 12 rounds. It will be a dull as fuck fight.
I hope.
No. I mean, honestly, I would fly out to Vegas, go hang with Miguel, go do the 10 questions and do the whole fucking routine. But the reality of this fight, there are basically 2 outcomes. Either Gervonta Davis pulls something completely out of his ass and hits Ryan till he sees tomorrow, right? There are 2 outcomes. And tell me I'm wrong, Andrew. Gervonta Davis pulls the home run out of his ass, and it would be out of his ass because he doesn't have reach, he doesn't have size. Or exactly what I think it'll be, a literal 12-round fucking boxing lesson it's inevitable. Ryan Garcia is a better boxer.
Lee, if he outboxes him, the way the media and the general public have this fight, it will be a great win for Ryan. To outbox someone that everyone's predicting is going to knock you out, that's a great win for Ryan Garcia.
He's got the best trainer on the planet for this fight.
In my opinion, there is no losing for Ryan in this fight if he comes out with the victory. This kid has been labeled, even though he has way more national titles for whatever they're worth than Gervonta does. You haven't heard him say shit about Gervonta's amateur career. Yet with Ryan, they're like, he's had 200 fights. He's a 17-time national champ. I believe the only reason why he went at pros is because of the math didn't really work out. I want to say that's the backstory to him not going to the Olympics. You guys, he would have been in the Olympics like at 22 years of age. You know how fucking badass Ryan Garcia was at 22 years, how fast he was, how good that left hook was. He was knocking out grown-ass men at 17. He would have dominated the fucking Olympics. His hand speed and the age, but they didn't want to wait. I believe that's why he didn't wait for the Olympics, was just because of the age. They'd rather went pro. The kid has done a lot. They don't talk about Gervonta's amateur record really a lot. He's fought. They talk more about him being a sellout as a pro than what he did as an amateur. So I agree with you that this fight might not be as close as people are saying it is. They got him knocking out, but a lot of it is hate. You got to remember, the young man, Ryan's a handsome-looking young man, and a lot of times in boxing, that don't fare well with the general public. They're always going for the underdog. So is some of this betting on Gervonta have to do with just the hate of not wanting a guy like Ryan Garcia, who seems to have it all, to have him succeed in the sport as well as a fighter? So we'll see what happens. But I am with you on the whole boxing thing. I
think he's a better boxer. I just think he's bigger. And Miguel, I'll turn it over to you. Wait, we're going to have the debate here. Miguel, is Ryan Garcia a victim of having a gerbil in his ass? And by the way, if you don't get that joke, I'm going to say this to all men. Why do you hate on guys who are good looking and say they immediately have a gerbil in their ass? Take a breath.
Pretty
all right.
Woman was a great movie, Lee. Pretty Woman was a great movie.
Andrew knows the reference. Miguel does probably not. He's too young. But
I know the movie. I don't know the reference.
The reference was that Richard Gere, who all men hated because he was voted prettiest man, wound up in an emergency room with a gerbil in his ass. I think Ryan Garcia falls into that category of he's got a gerbil in his ass. Take a breath, everyone. He's Ryan Garcia. And yes, your girlfriend wants to fuck him. Just take a breath. They're not. He's got a long line. Same thing with Oscar. He'll have a Brazilian with a Brazilian, with a side of Brazilian and a side of cocaine, allegedly. I'm fascinated with this fight. I'm completely fascinated only from the perspective of how is this not one-sided, Miguel?
Well, the power is a great equalizer. We might be one-sided for a certain amount of time.
We were in San Diego where we watched this kind of fight happen, where a power guy came in on a boxer, and a solid boxer will always win off the jab and counter punching. Always.
Right. But I mean, again, there's the great equalizer. It's the X factor is that power. Like you can be behind on the scorecards and land that one shot that ends it. And I've said this before. This fight is going to be one of those things of who can take whose punch better. I think Tank can take Ryan's punch better than Ryan can take than Tank's. So all it really takes is one. He lands one, and I don't think. I mean, to give Ryan plenty of credit, I think he will get up, but he's gonna go back down. Like at that point, he's gonna get finished if that happens. Because like here's the thing, a couple of things that I was looking at. We have Tank, who's a southpaw, right, and his power comes from the left hand, and we have Ryan, who is orthodox, and he's got a great left hook. Well, because he's orthodox, his left hand is going to be closer to, to Gervonta's face than Gervonta's left hand is to Ryan's face. So to quote the great, Fight Net Radio philosophizer Andrew Lapachet, don't get it twisted. Tank will get hit. Tank will fucking get hit. So we know that Ryan is going to catch him. However, that power is a great equalizer. We anticipate that Ryan is going to be able to fight tall, right? He's got that reach, he's got that height, and he's got the weight advantage, right? Because I know they have a rehydration clause, but the guy still is a big motherfucker, and he still has that kind of power. So I'm sure he's going to come in with a lot of physical advantages, which is one of the reasons the rehydration clause was even put in place to begin with. But that being said, he gets clocked with one. Gervonta left hand, and it could be nights out. So that's the only reason I say it would not be a one-sided ass whooping or one-sided schooling, is because he's always got that left hand, and it's always that X factor. If he lands it, Ryan might get up. He'll be on wobbly legs, but he'll get finished as soon as he stands up.
So you're making an argument. You bet Ryan on the decision, because I don't think Ryan can knock him out. I do not believe that.
Right.
I believe he takes a 12-round decision, right?
Yeah.
So you bet the decision, right?
Yeah. For Ryan,
and then you hedge it, and then you hedge it for like $5 for Gervonta by knockout, right? Like that's the logical bet. And by the way, that would probably net you, based on the numbers right now, I'd make 30 or 40% on my money. And by the way, if this is your first time, we'll talk about it after the weigh-in. We'll do a betting show at the end of the week. Click like, subscribe, smash. God, I hate saying that. Smash. God, I hate saying it. Smash and join us. Andrew, are you believing in the new verb? Is there a Deontay Wilder inside of Gervonta Davis?
Well, that's kind of he's been described as, right? The Mike Tyson of the little divisions. I guess you could say Wilder too.
He's never fought anybody. Here's the problem with both of them. They've never been in the big show. This is the big show. This is it.
And Lee, what I'm going to say is I believe Ryan has had the equal opposition levels that Gervonta has, where they keep pumping into Gervonta's head that somehow he is the most experienced. He's the more experienced fighter. He's the fighter that's been in bigger fights. Mario Barrios, I don't give a fuck what arena you sold out in Washington or Brooklyn or wherever they were that wasn't the fight capital where they were paying top dollars. I don't care about what arena you sold out. Mario Barrios is still Mario Barrios. Who is that? That guy would be a straight underdog going up against Ryan Garcia right now at the 140 division. That's without Ryan Garcia beating Gervonta Davis. He's an underdog. No one would have Barrios over Garcia. So, and there's I mean, the Isaac Cruz, come on, this guy's fucking a midget compared to Ryan Garcia. What?
But I would make the argument on both of these guys. They've never fought anyone in the top 10. They've never.
Luke Campbell. I'm sorry, Luke Campbell has more credentials than Mario Barrios or Isaac fucking Cruz. Luke Campbell's an ex-champ. Luke Campbell went the distance with, was it Lomachenko? Mm. Like this guy, Campbell's a Olympic winner. This guy had way more credentials going up against a kid who's in the biggest fight of his career, and most have labeled him only a TikTok star. That's all Ryan is going in the fight with Campbell. And then he gets dropped. Now it looks really bad for Ryan. But what happens? No, he comes back with, I think, the knockout of the year or a candidate for knockout of the year. Single shot to the body. Down goes Campbell, first time he's ever stopped. No, that win right there, I thought put him over. Whatever the fuck. Leo Santa Cruz, bro, this guy's best days were at what? 118? Where the fuck was he really fighting at when he was Leo Santa Cruz?
Leo Santa Cruz.
What the fuck isn't where Gervonta Davis was? It's there's a few things that I
think I really hate to say this, Andrew. We're hyping this up to be the fight to save boxing, right? And by the way, joining us once again on the show, the Golden Boy. Listen, bro. He's right where he should be. This is the moment to shine, right? Right? He's going to be fighting Canelo in his next fight, bro. He is. I'm going to move him up to light heavyweight. This is the moment to do something special on the stage against the type of fighter Gervonta, who is the best. And he's undefeated, bro. He's young. He's a lion. It's time for them to do something special and save boxing. Like, it's time for them to step it up, bro.
Ronaldo Romero, these guys are fucking
no, they're all bullshit.
Romero,
my argument is this is bullshit.
World.
The question is, they mislabeled this fight. Who's not bullshit on Saturday night?
Well, Lee, the only reason why, but wait a minute. The only reason why you can say is this is the fight to save boxing is, one, our pay-per-view numbers have been trashed for a while.
I don't think anybody's buying this either.
Well, that's what we're going to find out, because it's either the fight that saves boxing, or this is going to be the fight where a lot of other reporters are like, yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be going to Vegas for the next major fight. They might be going to those other big fights that bring in a lot more celebrities, eyeballs, clicks on the internet. I'm sorry. If you can't get 1 million people to buy your fight, I highly doubt there's 1 million people clicking on your website. It's just those two don't add up. So boxing's in a real serious problem right now because we're not getting the traffic that the other major sports are getting. This fight needs to change that. This fight, yes, I think the bars are buying into this one. You know what? They might be selling a package that the bars have to buy because they know their customers are going to come out for this one. That's what we're hoping, Lee. We're hoping that the closed circuit venue shows that.
Wait, Andrew. Get it right. You and Miguel are probably hoping. Let me get it straight. I am way more interested in the story of watching boxing being forced into a UFC format where you might as well just sign a bunch of fighters and create your own league and make what the PBC should have done, but they didn't.
Millions of dollars, bro. No, I'm not into you. Oh, you used to make $1 million. No, now you're only going to make 20 grand. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck those guys. Those guys are treated like fucking pits. I'm sorry. Those guys are like animals.
You might want to talk to Suleiman. I mean, clearly he's willing to sell the belt to any animal who's got the right price.
About being worth $21 billion. Yet their fucking heavyweight champion of the world says he has to borrow money in between training camps. You're a fucking joke. You know what you are, UFC fight fans? You're that type of employee that always brags about their fucking boss. Not about what you're doing, but about what your fucking boss is doing.
Whoa.
No,
I cannot wait. If
fucking
you're
don't.
asking me to argue pay-per-views versus boxing, and tell
It
me I'm
does-
wrong, wait, hold on. We're going to use Miguel as the arbitrator, and I know he's pro-UFC, but consistently, who has pulled off the better pay-per-view, Miguel?
You have no proof of that. That is you just talking. You aren't bringing no stats. You're
What the
bringing.
fuck?
Lee, what fight of theirs?
They
has ever-
actually tell you what UFC numbers are after their fights.
for
If
as
I do a
many-
Showtime pay-per-view, they're
for
not
as
going to
many-
tell me the numbers.
Hold on, Miguel. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cut. I'm gonna keep going here because this is bullshit. For as many times as I've heard that fucking sport say, "This is the most anticipated fight. The history was made when this fight got signed." These fucking people have screamed that title for their pay-per-view so many times in their existence. What the fuck comes close? I'm gonna put out two.
I'll argue it. Last
We're at-
weekend, it was Alessandro, correct, Miguel? It was Alessandro
Right,
last
right,
week,
right.
So at the same time, we had DAZN, ESPN. I'm telling you, more people paid and or watched free UFC than boxing because it's more Andrew, you're missing the point.
Lee,
People
you're
want to
the-
be entertained. I am telling you, as a guy who turns on my TV at noon and starts watching those
And you
cards
don't
at the bottom,
find a
they
boxer to
suck
be-
dick. They
It's
suck
sad.
dick, Andrew. They suck
It's
dick.
sad. It's sad. Right now, you got Nate Diaz just signed a contract to fight fucking Jake Paul. All of them want to be boxers.
You're
Ain't none of
talking
them
about
talking
money
about
as compared to entertainment.
boxing because they don't get paid money. They all fucking know it. Lee, they make more money than they would if they worked their warehouse job at Home Depot or fucking a cashier.
Well,
at
no,
Walgreens.
in Stockton, I'm pretty sure Nick Diaz is a multi-billionaire.
He'd probably be a guy at Amazon. Don't get it fucking twisted, all right? They make more money than that guy. But they aren't fucking boxing level, dude. They're not. They're not even close, and it's fucking sad that you would tell a professional athlete, someone that could do 12 rounds in a ring and get paid millions of dollars, man, you guys should be like those guys that make $100,000. Those are the cool guys. Get the fuck out of here. Those guys aren't cool. They're treated like fucking slaves, bro. Take that fucking package and go somewhere with it. I would never have my son in a sport where he
Whoa.
gets paid
Whoa,
thousands of dollars.
and you've got family who actually did high school. Whoa, all right. As a former high school and collegiate level wrestler, like, whoa,
Wrestling,
there was
MMA.
never any future for us other than the WWE.
MMA. You are talking about the UFC MMA where it is a glorified prison fight. Yes, you got to bring skill. Yes, you got to
Best
bring
show
skill.
ever, Miguel.
But
Best show
for
ever.
the most part, when you hammer fist a man in their fucking skull, that is not skill. If you put a shank in his hand, I watch that shit in prison all day.
Sorry, when you said that, I just thought of Junior making a shiv in class.
I'm just trying to keep
No,
it
wait.
100
All right, so here's my argument.
about
What
the
is-
hammer.
Wait,
on a
wait.
dude's-
Hold on. We need to go to our referee on this. Miguel, what was the last big UFC fight where they had crazy numbers?
Damn, right offhand, I want to
Just
say
go
this.
with a figure.
Well-
What?
well,
5,
prob-
6, 7, 800,000?
No, I'm more like in the 6, I think. For
Okay,
for-
so
what was
6.
it?
So here's my
I
question.
think it was for the John Jones.
Okay, all right.
comeback.
I'm right there with you. So 600,000, Andrew. So here's the overs and unders, and I'm going to base it on UFC. Does Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis do better than 600,000?
Lee, if it don't, we are in a very sad state. Lee, fuck, man. This sport used to do a million more. Like that used to
Oh
be
my
the
God, yes. I remember in the 90s, I would go to a friend's house. You have a barbecue. You buy the fight. You watch 5 hours of Don King fights, right?
I'm talking De La Hoya. I'm talking Mike Tyson. All these guys sold.
Absolutely.
Manny Pacquiao sold fights. Like, what are we talking about? Manny Pacquiao has 14 fights on pay-per-view straight. But Floyd Mayweather has how many pay-per-view fights straight? No one gave a shit about spending money.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
agree.
Kelly Pavlik versus Jermaine Taylor 2 on pay-per-view broke a million buys.
Right.
Like
I would
and
make
they
the
weren't like
argument. Wait, let's go
super
with an
stars.
easy one. I was a big Tommy Morrison fan, right? Like I remember going to my parents' house, right, and watching the fight with my dad, and then watching the Ray Mercer fight. That wasn't for a title. Actually, it was WBO when it first started. But I remember you'd go over, have a barbecue. We bought the fight. We're going to watch the fight. Like, that's a thing. Nobody does it anymore, Andrew. Nobody does
Well,
it.
we haven't done it in a long time because of the fucking people like that run the PBC. We have to not forget what Al Heyman and his Floyd Mayweather-like motto did to this fucking sport. All right? This whole, we're going to rob the bank. They took that all the way, man. Look, a lot of these guys think they should be making money, way more money than they're worth because of Al Heyman lying to them, going, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you $1 million or I'm gonna give you 500 grand for this. These guys like, wow, I'm making 500 grand. You see, mom and dad, I'm hella tight. When in reality, he was robbing people that invested in him. He's overpaying his fighters because he's taking a percentage of their purses. And now when it's all said and done, the money's gone, that we don't know where the fuck the company is. These guys go back into the deep waters and go, wait a minute. I made 500 grand in my last fight. I did this in 2018, 2019. But you're not worth that, man. That dude wasn't even selling fucking tickets. You guys all had funny money. It's real. It's real in your bank, but it's not real as what you projected in this sport. That was funny money. The Al Heyman never sold a fucking ticket. You know how many PBC matches I seen in empty fucking stadiums? Yet the guy, Robert Guerrero and Danny Garcia, are both making over $1 million. Get the fuck out of here. This shit, he bought the rights to the damn Fox. Fox didn't pay him. He was paying them. Ponzi scheme. They got away with it. He fucked this all up. He's got guys.
Sorry, it's a drink moment in the show.
Are we gonna get? Do you think like what we're talking about as far as like people inviting other people over to watch? You think that will happen for?
When's the last time
Garcia?
it actually happened? I mean,
will
really,
it
when's
happen
the
for
last
Garcia
time
and
where
Tank?
we like all barbecued and did like?
I have a full house.
Will
I have
it
a
happen
full
for Garcia
house
Tank?
for next
Is my question.
Saturday.
All right,
For-
so all right,
I have a
we're
full
getting
house.
there, Andrew. So here's my question: We're approaching that moment, right? Are you having people over? Or are you going somewhere? You're way more social than me or Miguel.
Full house already. My house is locked. I got cousins that are already mad because I'm like, look, you could come,
You're
but
out of seats at your house. You're a full seating, Miguel.
I'm
we're
full-
going. We're going to
My
Fremont.
house.
It's standing room
My house.
only now.
I don't
No,
got-
we're
like-
going to Fremont. We're going to Fremont to watch it with Andrew.
I
I don't see any way around it.
But no, this fight has sold out. The
There is no wait. Are you pulling a Magna Media on me and Miguel?
dude. I'm just trying to tell you guys.
Are you
if this
telling
doesn't-
me that Miguel and I have no clout in that house to get a couch?
Oh no, you guys will get in. No,
Oh,
of
okay.
course
All
you-
right. We got through the door, Miguel. We're doing
If
way
you
better
showed up-
than Vegas.
Hey, if you show up, you're getting in. There is I don't know where the fuck you're going to be watching the fight from, but you're going to
should
get
we
in.
should we bring our own collapsible chairs?
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah.
This is the best Fight Net Radio ever. All right. We will do a show at the end of the week based on weight and class and everything. So I've got to ask because we haven't done this game in a long time. And I'm going to qualify it, Andrew, because you're going to be the first one. If you've never played the game, it's called Can You Knock Lee Honish Out in the Beer Line? We've been playing this game now for, a decade. Today we're going to play it with Gervonta Davis. Ryan Garcia. It's going to be his right hand, Andrew. So start thinking about it while I prep it for everybody. By the way, this is a drinking game, and I completely prefer it that way. So your choices are he knocks me out, he spills the beer. Like there's variations to everything. So here's the idea. I'm standing in a beer line behind Ryan Garcia, who probably has 2 women next to him. I step on a shoe. He pulls out of his shoe. He goes, "What's up, bro?" I go, "What's up with you, Ryan Garcia, you skinny little toothpick?" He turns, he plants the right hand, Andrew. Question 1, does he knock me out? Question 2, does he spill the beer? Where do you fall, Andrew, with the right hand?
I'm going to say no, Lee. I'm going to say no because I don't think Ryan really wants to throw the punch. He doesn't seem like a guy who fights out of the ring. He's probably going to do it because his ego is bigger than his brain. So
There are
he'll
2 girls
throw
involved. There are 2 girls involved.
half-ass punch. So you're at your size and height, you will be able to absorb that punch. I believe
God,
so.
I hope so. God, I would hope so. Miguel, where do you fall on the bet?
Well, considering he still is a young cat, he's probably has an energy drink in his hand and not beer. So we're gonna go that route. I'm gonna say yes. Not necessarily because of his power, but because of that snap. He's got that quick twitch snap. Yeah, he not only does he not spill his drink, but he does knock you out. Yes, even with his right hand. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Click, like, subscribe if we hit X amount, whatever all those YouTubers and social media people do. When we get to Tyson Fury and Usyk, I will get a heavyweight to play out this game. If we get to, give me a number, Andrew. What do you think? How many followers do we need on YouTube and social media? 100,000?
Yeah,
this is what got me into trouble the last time. I put a dollar figure and we actually hit the dollar figure and I was getting punched by heavyweights. I would say this. If you click, like, subscribe and we hit 100,000, when it comes up to Tyson Fury and Usyk, and if you don't believe that's going to happen before the end of summer, you're crazy. I will get a heavyweight and we will play this game out in real time. So there you go.
Hey.
I need 100,000 followers. I'm willing to take the punch for 100,000 followers. And right. Miguel will be feeding me baby food for the rest of my life at that point. That'll be the last headshot I can take.
Did you guys watch the build-up shows, Miguel, Lee? Did you guys watch them?
Yeah, I'm watching them. I think they're all bullshit. I'm going to say this as a guy who does do marketing. I don't believe Ryan Garcia's social media bullshit. I don't think he has the following he thinks he has. I think it's bot. I still believe it.
That is totally fine. What we do know though is I think the presence of the TMT team, Jim, is showing up in Gervonta Davis's clips. He has a lot of yes men around him. His trainer, to me, is a yes man. This guy is talking more about what he did in prison, when Gervonta was young. You don't really see them in the ring doing anything. Even Freddie Roach would get in the ring and do stuff with his fighters. Joe Goozen's never really been that type of guy, but Joe Goozen brings it because of his resume. You don't have to question Joe Goozen's resume. Because he's done multiple legendary fights in his career. With Gervonta Davis, we have a guy who basically brought up Gervonta Davis, and from the sounds of it, he was more like a father figure than a trainer to him. Making him fucking cinnamon rolls during his training camp. This dude weighs 150 pounds. He's not close to 136. We're 2 weeks away from the fight. You're making fucking prison cinnamon rolls? That's what you think you should be bringing your champ?
I'm not disagreeing with that. They sound yummy.
But
here's the argument. If we're going to go by trainers at this moment, right? Dude, Gervonta does not have any training that I can see. Look, I am a Goosen guy. I have been a Goosen guy since I started this show. I've been a Goosen guy since, he's got a photographic memory and can remember every single reporter he's ever talked to. I am a complete Goosen guy. Let me say that because you've got to, actuate. When I win the lottery and start to work on my road to becoming, light heavyweight, I think I can cut to light heavyweight champion of the world. Or even if I was doing one of those challenges with these other goddamn YouTubers who all fight like a bunch of fucking fairies, They do. They do. They fight terribly.
Lee,
And
you're
by the
getting-
way, Andrew, here's a sad reality. I think the last creator fight card will do more views than Gervonta Davis versus
Lee,
Ryan Garcia.
Ain't none of those fight cards ever release pay-per-view numbers. So I'm fucking over that one too. I'm over everyone saying how much Paul makes, but no one's showing it on his fucking on the receipts. Just leave me alone with that. Back to the real fight. Let's go back to the guys that are really fighting. 154 pounds when he first gets on the fucking scale. Then he takes out like a cell phone, a watch.
Mhm.
Did you guys see this scene?
Yeah.
Where he,
Oh, yeah.
where he
Yeah, but he's fully clothed though. Let's keep in mind he is fully clothed.
Oh, okay. Once again, that's what? Maybe 2 pounds the heaviest, bro? And that's being very heavy with clothes.
Well, he does wear like baggy shit, and like we all know when it comes time to weigh in, we're all on an empty stomach, on an empty bladder, on empty all that shit, right? He wasn't during then, so gotta add a couple of more pounds for that, I suppose.
Do you want to know what Ryan Garcia weighed at that moment? Because they released his weight on Twitter around the same 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
139. 139, and the other guy is 154, 150. I don't know, clothes, fed. I don't know. He's still a long ways away from 136 when we know that is your prime condition weight. That is not your average. That is not your walk around. We are talking about when you work your motherfucking ass off, Gervonta, we can get you to 135. That's starving yourself. You're 2 weeks before the fight still at 150? It's red flags, man. Red flag. You got fucking yes, man. Oh, this is another one I wanted you guys to look out for. Whoever didn't see it, catch this moment. When the trainer gives him that cinnamon roll, his strength and conditioning trainer is looking at him like, you better not eat that fucking shit. Miguel, you know those are bad carbs, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like
they're empty fucking calories. Those are so empty calories.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're trying to be in the prime condition of your life. You're in the biggest fight of your life. You're over here eating a fucking cinnamon roll.
All right, so final question, Andrew, because this fight clearly fires you up. Over under 600,000.
Oh, it's clearly over. Lee, listen, if this fight doesn't break 1 million, I'm very nervous about my sport. I really am. There hasn't been a sport in years that has grabbed the attention of all the fans like this one has. I have people talking about this on my job. I have people talking about this in my family. This fight has clearly grabbed the attention. All right. It sold out in 4 minutes. You can't get past that. We haven't said that in a long time. All right. That a fight sold out in 4 minutes. It's the one. It is absolutely the one. Ryan is one fight away from bringing the pretty boy of this generation. I'm sorry, without the Olympic gold medal, he would become the new Oscar De La Hoya if they baby it right. You're talking years of him being successful in this sport. We need that. Gervonta, because of his fucking criminal past record of beating on his girlfriends, running red lights, drunk, running into cars with 4 people in them. One of them might be pregnant. This dude, I'm not guaranteed is going to be on the streets in 5 years. That's your reality, Gervonta, when you have 3 fuck-ups.
Yeah.
All right.
I think got people for me.
Hold
like
on,
hitting
Gil.
me up.
I'm going to come. Hold on. Andrew, at this point, before we do the betting show, what's your prediction?
Yeah, right now, I'm leaning on Ryan Garcia. Listen, look. Ryan right now not only has a Hall of Fame trainer, and that's not me talking. The man's being inducted into the Hall of Fame soon. I don't think it's happened yet. I think he's getting in this year. He has Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya, 2 of the most successful fighters in big fights that are guiding him. They're talking to him. Fucking Gervonta's got what over there? Hey, do you remember when we were young, man? You used to sleep in the fucking floor. Remember that shit? Gervonta's on camera like, yeah, I'm a legend already. I don't care what happens on Saturday. I'm a legend. Where I'm from, you ain't supposed to be this big, so I'm a legend. You got Ryan over there like, I'm about to prove everyone wrong. Everyone fucking told me I wasn't shit. I'm about to prove everyone who I am. Like, the levels are just too different right now. Lee, I like his size. I like his speed. I like his trainers. I like his management team. How the fuck am I going to go against him? You know what the other guy got? He got a knockout punch. There it is. There's been many fighters that had the knockout punch and didn't get to the end of the fight or didn't win the big one. So I'm going with Ryan Garcia. And if I feel real lucky on that night, I'm betting Ryan Garcia by fucking knockout.
Okay, Miguel, I had to squeeze all the caffeine out of him. It was just there, ripe for the taking, and the audio people love that. So let's start with you. Over under on 600.
No, it'll hit over. This is one of the few fights where people that aren't boxing fans are, texting me, like some of my BFFs, and I know you like me saying that, Lee. So some of them are texting me saying like, hey, dude, when is this fight? And mind you, they know who the guys are, at least by their nicknames at the very least. But when they say like the fight, I know what fight they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, okay. So and at first I'm like, oh, really, these motherfuckers know exactly who what fight we're talking about here. But clearly they're interested in. And as far as I understand, I want to say it's going to be on DAZN pay-per-view and Showtime pay-per-view, so that is going to allow quite a more like of a wider audience. I think putting them on both platforms. I want to say that's the direction they're going. So because I guess it just ultimately depends on who commentating team you prefer. But yeah, the fact that they're going to be on both of those, which I believe is the case, and that's what my buddy texted me about. He's like, "Hey, dude, who's going to be carrying the fight? Like, is it?" And of course, he's out of the loop, so he's like, "Is HBO doing it?" I'm like, "No, HBO has been out of the picture for a while."
VIPfrontrow.net, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I hit them up. I mean, the fact that they knew that fight, I was like, oh shit, okay, clearly this has a much broader appeal because of who they are, and on top of the fact that we've already mentioned, the sellout of the arena, I suspect it will go over the 600. I don't know if it'll reach 1 million. I mean, it looks like it'll get to that direction, but I suspect it might fall a little short of that, but it's not necessarily a bad thing either. They came close. They shot for the moon and landed the stars, or the way around, however the fuck you say it. But the bottom line is they'll get close to 1 million. I don't know if they'll break it, but they'll get close.
This type of fight, you guys, used to draw 100,000 just to Vegas. It really did. You used
Look, I used to pay money to go see Jeff Lacey in Vegas, Andrew.
But you remember we used to buy closed circuit tickets. Yeah, I didn't get
yes.
Sometimes $100 and you get to go watch it at a casino. Those are still pay-per-view buys. So they should be able to do 100,000 if the right crowd came to this fight in Vegas. They should almost get 100,000 closed circuit tickets sold just in the city of Vegas itself.
You would think, but here's the problem: you're not looking at the X factor, and the X factor is ultimately that Vegas is pricing itself to ridiculous quantities at this moment.
Here we go with this.
Oh my God! All right, Miguel. I'm not going to get into the argument about economics. That's my day job.
Don't start with that shit.
Okay, Miguel. If you had to predict now before the weigh-ins and the betting show, what's your bet? How am I not hearing Miguel?
No, it cut us off. I had to go back to you.
What?
It cut us off. I had to go back to the call. So I'm back. I had to hit a button say just go back to call.
Okay. There's nothing on my end. Miguel, are you still here? I can't hear Miguel.
You guys can
there you are. There you are. All right.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can hear you guys.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So if you had to bet right now, what would you bet? And then he's gone again, Andrew. It's not me. It's you guys.
That's the best teaser you could ever set up, Miguel. You're doing great right now.
Should I stop the show right here on the
Here we go. Okay,
there you go. All right. What's the bet?
You guys kept cutting it out. All right. So what was all right? So the prediction, right? Is that what we're going at?
Yes, right now. Okay. Not. We'll do the weigh-ins and the real bet. And,
we'll see how they look after the weigh-in. But man, I want to, for the sake of everything that is holy on this earth, including the sport of boxing, I would hope that fucking Ryan pulls this shit off. I want to bank on that. But there's just something about the way he closes his fucking eyes when he throws his goddamn punches that is going to lead me to believe that he's gonna get caught with a left hand of Gervonta's. Gervonta might even come in with a surprise and include a right hook in there, the way Manny Pacquiao later added to his arsenal later on in his career. So I suspect he's going to go that route. But damn it, something about Ryan just he's going he's I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to call him chinny per se, but I don't think he's going to be able to take Ryan Tank's shot. And if Tank lands, and there's a high probability that he will, I think he's going to finish the fight. I want to say I'm going to be rooting for Ryan, of course. But if I have to, like, gun to my head prediction, I'm gonna have to go with Gervonta, and it's gonna come probably mid fight, 6th, 7th round. I have to call it there, but I'm gonna say Tank by TKO.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh.
I guess I'm the deciding factor. I think Ryan Garcia wins by decision. I think no matter what anyone thinks, I think this is decision. I think one referee is definitely in Gervonta's corner and 2 are probably in Oscar's corner. And I don't want to get into the politics because that's why Miguel's still mad at me for the discussion with Mr. Suleiman, because I brought it up way too many times. But what would I personally like? Oh my God, if Gervonta Davis knocked out Ryan Garcia, I'd be the happiest camper on the planet. The idea of watching Oscar lose another superstar, Andrew, makes me happy and warm. It just does. It just does.
People have prayed for boxing's downfall for a very long time.
I'm not praying for boxing's downfall. I'm just praying for Oscar's downfall.
He's a star. That's what you just said.
Oscar is completely blessed. I swear to God, the dude is Teflon.
Or maybe he's good at what he does. Besides him, his party habits, the guy parties a little too wild for most people's taste.
No, I'm just jealous about his party habits. I'm going to be honest.
This guy does pretty good. Let's not forget, Floyd versus Oscar was under his umbrella too, not anyone else's. So he has that fight. He has the Canelo fight. He has the Pacquiao. This guy's done big things for the sport. It could just be that he's a good promoter. Besides, like I've said many years ago, when that sun drops and the event's over, head the fuck home if you don't want to party hard. Don't go out with him. You might see some shit.
Mario, why can't you go out? Why, bro? Why?
Hey, if it makes you feel better, Oscar's credit card is not good in my house either.
I was about to ask, would your wife let you go hang out with Oscar in the city?
Can I buy this trip with Oscar's credit card? She'd be like, get the fuck. If you want a divorce when you get back, Andy. She'd probably start calling me Andy.
And Andrew Ruiz.
Andrew Ruiz Lapache. Hey, check us out. Click like, subscribe wherever you're listening to it. If you're listening to the audio, go check out our review of the Joe Joyce fight. We put the video online. I guarantee if you go to our Facebook page, there will be a link, if nothing more than to an unlisted page. We watched the whole fight. Top Rank Bob joined us on Friday, or I'm probably going to guess Friday night. We'll record the betting show. And if you want to know our final feelings, because really it's going to come down to hydration and weight loss and whether or not Ryan looks like he's about to have a heart attack from, trying to stay within that weight gap. So click, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you got to do. That's Andrew Labache. That's Miguel Antonio Bergon. My name's Lee Honish. Check us out online at FightNet Radio, and we'll see you guys at the end of the week.